Hello and welcome everybody. This is the Sports Counterpoint Show. I'm GB. I got Brian and Coop with me as always. What's up, my guys?
Going on?
Hey,
Hey
all right.
man, we're back at it. Another show. Thanks everybody who checks us out, listens to us, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. I said I was gonna stop saying podcast because no one has an iPod, but wherever you listen to your shows, thanks for checking us out. We for sure appreciate you listening. Today we're talking national championship for college basketball because we are a week or two out of that. We'll talk about some NBA as we're getting to the playoffs, and then we'll also talk about the Masters and a couple other things I wanted to ask the guys. So let's start with college basketball. National championships over. Michigan wins it all. Beat UConn. What do you guys think about the game?
I guess I'll go first on this one. I think definitely the better team won, but I also think that the referees let them play, and that's the reason why it was closer than what the game I think should have been. Michigan was clearly the better team, the bigger team, probably a little bit more skilled team, but the referees really let them play because UConn committed a lot of fouls, especially in that first half. They committed 11 fouls, but they really committed about 20. They let a lot of stuff go, and that kept UConn close in the game because they're a scrappy team. They knew they were at disadvantage against Michigan, and if you kind of ugly up the game or muck it up a little bit, you'll have a chance to win it. But to UConn's credit, it seemed like when Michigan was going to pull away, they just hit some off the backboard 3 point shot or went on a 5-5-6-0 run, and they did whatever they could to keep the game close. But ultimately, the better team won in the end in Michigan. But I just think with the referees letting them play, the game was closer than I thought it would have been. But good win for Michigan. They deserve to win. They're the better team, and it's another championship for the Big Ten: college football, women's college basketball, men's college basketball. Big Ten is with NIL is here to stay, and I think this is going to be a repeat next year and probably the year after in the future. But good for Michigan though. It's a good win for them, and happy for Drew. B, what you think about it?
Yeah, and I agree that the refs were definitely letting them play. I actually liked it. Seeing
Yep.
physical basketball is always more fun for me. But the
Yep.
problem with this game is that they all couldn't shoot. Like, I don't know if you looked at stat lines. I was looking at the game and I'm like, has everyone missed everything? How points been scored? Yeah, I don't know what the over under is, but it had to be in the unders because you had UConn shooting 27% from three, and Michigan shooting 13% from three. They were 2 for 15 in the game, 38%
Hmm.
from the field to UConn's 31% in the field. I mean, and there's just no good reason to shoot that poorly in both areas. But that allowed the game to be close, in my opinion. It kept the game interesting late, and it made it artificially probably more exciting down the stretch than it might have otherwise been. Because usually when you're seeing two teams play really well, you're getting games that are in the 80s with high shooting where people could make it. In this one, it was who can make it. Like it was
Sure.
it was a question of whether or not it was even going to happen. But anyways, good national championship. Michigan, uh, you know, had played outstanding basketball all throughout the regular season for college basketball. Had a little bit of a falter, which brought them to not being one of the number one overall seed, but they got it back and did what they needed to do in the tournament. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, Michigan
Yeah, I
went
think I
69,
think
63. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Coop.
I think in the first half, Michigan shot like 1 for 12, I think, on threes. They couldn't make anything. And then second half kind of picked up a little bit. But yeah,
No, they
I'm
only
with
made one
you.
in the second half.
Oh, they
It
did?
was
Oh,
they
okay.
only made two for the game. I mean, it
Yeah,
was
Oh,
just
wow. I didn't know that.
horrific.
and they doubled
Yeah.
their
But
output to Coop's point.
but 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 what I did not know is that all five of Michigan starters were transfers. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until after the game was over. That their five starters were transfers, all
The
for
Fab Five
NIL.
transfers. Who
Best
won the
team money
bracket
combined.
challenge?
Yeah. Huh?
Drew did because Drew was the only person who picked
Nice.
Michigan.
Michigan to win it all.
Yep.
So if
Nice.
Yeah, that's
UConn
what.
had
Yeah.
won, Greg was going to win because
Yep.
nobody would have gotten any points, and he had the lead. And then if Michigan won, Drew would have won.
Nice. How much fun
Yep.
is that? Nice. Cool. All right. Word. That's national championship. Good. Congrats to Michigan winning, like you said, another Big Ten championship. So sliding to NBA playoffs. But Coop, you actually were at the Kings game, Easter Sunday. How was that? Shout out to Jace
Oh
too.
man, yeah. So and Jelani showed up
Yeah.
too in about the second quarter. But so they played the LA Clippers. The Sacramento Kings Stadium is, to me, in my opinion, is small because I guess from me being at the last one we went to with the Warriors game at the Chase Center is huge, and Seattle was kind of small, but there really isn't a bad seat in that arena. We were, I think, in section, I think 120. We were kind of close to the court, and it was a wonderful experience, man. But the Sacramento Kings, like, the fans were upset because they weren't playing any defense. I mean, when they had a fast break, the Clippers, they were just jogging back on D. They weren't even trying to block shots or
Yeah.
get back or rebound or whatever. And then guys just going to the basket. There was a Kings player right there at the basket. Didn't matter. It was just an easy layup. It was no resistance. So, when you see stuff like that, fans started leaving in the third quarter. I just thought it was funny. So, of course, I stayed for the entire game because I paid. But my main takeaway from this game was it was two of them. Number one, DeMar DeRozan started, and then I didn't see him for the rest of the game. He played about 5 minutes, and he passed Oscar Robertson for number 16 overall in scoring points in the NBA, which I didn't know that DeMar DeRozan was that high on the list. I would have never guessed he would be number 16 overall as far as more points scored in the NBA. And number two, Kawhi Leonard is a huge man. I always knew he had big hands, but to see him up close in person, I mean, he is huge. He can get any shot he wants, and it's kind of hard to defend him because he's so thick in his chest area. He's just a big, wide person, and I didn't know he was really that big of a human being, but he's a big guy, and so that was my two main takeaways from that game. The Kings are terrible, and Kawhi's a huge dude and pretty much did whatever he wants. But it
Yeah.
was it was a good experience. I would definitely go back to another game because the tickets were actually
Yes,
very
nice.
cheap, so I would definitely go back again.
Yeah, it's a nice arena. The
Yeah,
Kings, I know they talk about the tanking and all that, so you were seeing that, and I just feel bad for the fans because Kings fans are pretty loyal and have been down with
yeah.
that team forever. So,
Hmm.
but they get close and they'll never, like, the team won't give them a winning product. So it would be nice to see them good again because
Yep,
it's a good fan base.
yep,
Nice.
it was.
Nice. All right. So playoffs, man. We actually had a couple of playing games today. Both games were really good, man. Again, I gotta say it's me that changed. As I was watching both games, both were exciting, high scoring, back and forth. That Heat played the Hornets. Hornets win in overtime, 127 to 126. Heck of a game, buzzer beaters. You had clutch threes. I mean, a lot of threes though. But that's probably the only thing I don't necessarily like about the current modern game. It's just like, man, every shot for like 10 minutes was a three. And I was like, dang, as soon as they go inside, they score. But whatever. But that was a good game. And then the Blazers just beat the Suns um, to advance as well to get the seventh seed. And then the Suns will play the winner of Warriors Clippers to decide who'll be the eighth. And the Heat will play the winner of Magic Sixers on the eastern side to decide who will be the eighth seed the um, on the east side. So it's kind of what that looks like. But let's get some concepts of kind of. I'm just kind of run through the first rounds and let's get you guys' thoughts on kind of what's out there. Starting with Raptors Clippers are playing Saturday. Kind of just your quick thoughts on how that series might turn out.
Raptors and the Clippers.
I mean
You mean
Cavs. I'm sorry,
Warriors, right?
Raptors and the Cavaliers. I'm sorry. Yep,
Okay.
you're absolutely right. You said Clippers.
B.
It was in my mind.
B.
I mean, I I'm just trying to get back into it. The
Fair.
Cavs have a very talented team, so I'm gonna say that the Cavs. Like, I don't know what the Raptors have going on with that team right now. I know that they have some players, but the Cavaliers are one of those teams that at the beginning of the season, until they had some injuries, was thought of as possibly one of the better teams in the
Yep.
league for a split second, especially on the East.
Yep.
So, I have to say that I think that the more talent will prevail. I don't know the injury situation yet, so that obviously could be impactful. I know what it is.
Yeah, the Cavs have been inconsistent
Oh,
all
your
year, but
boy,
what's
your
up?
boy is the leading scorer for Toronto, Brandon
No,
Ingram.
that's your boy. That's your boy,
Oh man,
and that's
Oh,
why I'm
he's
picking.
my boy.
And
yeah.
that's why I'm picking the Cavs to win because we all know Ingram ain't making it out the first
Well,
round,
you got
no matter
you
who
got
he plays
James
with.
Harden and on the other side with
Oh, he still
the
plays?
Spider. Yeah, James Harden got
Oh,
traded over there.
I didn't know James Harden plays basketball. I didn't know
Yeah.
Well,
that.
I,
Didn't know.
so I
But
just looked it up, and the
yeah.
Cavs. The reason that they fell off was that Mitchell and Mobley have been out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your leading
Yeah.
scorer, leading assist guy, and leading rebounder
Yep.
between those two. So
Okay. Yeah.
that'll
You
be
can tell.
impactful.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could
definitely.
tell what you could tell what the league feels about the Cavs and Raptors because they play at 10 a.m. So that lets you know all you need to know about that series. Not interested. So I got the Cavs.
Yeah, and then we're gonna. I'm kind of just following the schedule, and then we'll jump back. But
Mhm.
then also on April 18th, you got the Knicks and the Hawks, in that game.
I didn't know the Hawks were a playoff team. I'm just
They've
used
been
to not
they
seeing
got on a
them.
run. They got
They
on a run.
Really?
qualified. They did not play in.
Yeah,
Right. I'm not used to that.
they got on a
But
run.
look, I'll talk about the Knicks next round, but yeah, they'll get past the Hawks. I don't have much to say about it.
Yeah,
Fair
the
enough.
Knicks are actually playing pretty well this season. They've had some up and down, but they've been playing pretty well. And what I think Brunson's back now, so all's well in their camp. Knicks should be able to take care of business here.
Fair enough. And then you got the Pistons are awaiting a team. The Pistons are number one. I don't think they're going to lose to whoever comes up. And then same thing with the Celtics are waiting the winner of Sixers Magic. I don't think either of those teams is losing, but
Nope.
it kind of doesn't matter who they play, in my opinion.
Right.
Agreed.
I mean, the
And then
Celtics are going to the Celtics are going to the finals, and the Pistons, the first round for the Pistons, that's going to mean too much than to lose that.
yeah,
So it's going to mean way too much from to lose in the first round. So that's not going to happen. So I
fully
agree.
agree. Yeah, fully agree. Then on the West side, Lakers Rockets, April 18th at 5:30 Pacific. I mean, obviously I'm going with the Lakers, but it'll be interesting. You got KD and LeBron in a series.
B, who
Yeah,
you got?
I will root for the Lakers, and I hope that they win. I don't think they will. I think Houston's going to win this series. Just too many injuries at the wrong time for the Lakers. They
That's
kind of
fair.
fell apart at
That's
the
fair.
end.
I did forget about
They
that.
don't know if
That's fair.
Doncic's going to be back. They don't know if Reeves is going to be able to play.
Yeah.
It looks like both of them would be able to play in the second round almost assuredly if they can make it out the first. But LeBron and Bronny are not enough to beat
Yeah, it's
any
tough.
playoff team. So I give the lean to Houston, but I will still be rooting for the Lakers, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Lakers too.
Right about
But
that.
if Luca was playing in this series, because he killed the Rockets all
Yeah.
season. If Luca
Yeah,
was playing, I would definitely take the Lakers. But he's not, and so you got to rely on LeBron. And if Bronny's playing the game, then that means JJ Redick threw up the white flag. But I got the Rockets in five,
And you
hoping
hating
the
on
Lakers
Bronny,
win.
man.
But I got the Rockets in five.
and the team the Lakers actually were playing really, really well before
Yeah.
both of them got hurt in like 3-day
Yeah.
period. Whatever. That's the
Yeah,
way
won
that
like
goes sometimes.
14 games or something out of 15 or 13 games out of 14 or something crazy. They were cooking. The Rockets team is all right, but I think that's a good point with the injuries. I'm not. They're not overly scary to me without us being injured.
We
But
need all three.
yeah, agree. And then you got the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, which is actually an interesting series. They're also playing on the April 18th.
This
See?
might be one of the best series
Yeah,
and from multiple rounds. I mean, obviously when you get to the Western Conference
Hmm.
Finals, but the Nuggets are kind of come back. Timberwolves have always been strong. The Lakers have had problems with Timberwolves, so I'm glad that
yeah,
they're not playing them. I'm going to take the Nuggets because they're at a streak. I mean, I think they've won like 13 straight, and went from being the sixth seed themselves to being a third seed. I don't know that I don't know that there's any team besides the Spurs or the Thunder that can give the Nuggets a challenge right now, and they've been beating those teams too. So Nuggets.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember last time Minnesota played Denver, man, and in the playoffs, and Denver beat them. Hoping for Minnesota to pull it through, but they just couldn't do it. This time around, man, it's hard. I want to take Denver. I think Denver's the right side, but I'm gonna go with Minnesota in this one.
Hmm. Be an interesting series. So I kind of feel the same way again as I did previously. Thunder and whoever they play, and Spurs and whoever they play. I think those series are pretty much a lock.
Those are done. You got two teams with
Yeah,
60 wins playing teams with maybe that aren't even
Yeah,
500 in most cases.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that's NBA
Oh,
playoffs.
one thing that I didn't know that Wemby was the first person in NBA history not to average over 30 minutes a game and have 25 and 10 and average 25 and 10. I didn't know that till today.
Well,
He
did you
doesn't play
see the
over.
stat about all the? So he played, let's call it 2,100 minutes or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and he's eligible for MVP. And Shea and Luca and
I thought Anthony Edwards
dude
was
from
on there too.
Denver, Anthony. Yeah, they all played more minutes than him
Mm-hmm.
by hundreds of minutes, like 2,500, 2,600 minutes, but less games than Wimby and are not eligible.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's
Damn.
Mm,
for playing games,
mm.
Wimby's still eligible, even though he plays far less minutes. I thought it was a fascinating stat that three
Yeah.
or four of your top guys aren't eligible because they didn't play enough games, yet they played more minutes than kind of the presumptive at this point.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah,
Interesting.
that's a good point. Yeah, so NBA playoffs, we'll check in on this in future shows as the playoff series continue, with the playoffs starting this weekend. And then from there, I was also wanting to talk about the Masters. We're switching from basketball to golf as Rory McIlroy wins back-to-back Masters. I was really cheering for Justin Rose. He's been like second place a bunch of times, but that course, you know, I haven't played it. B's been out there, but from what everybody says, it's just you're at different elevations on every shot. It's up and down. It's super hilly. It's just crazy difficult, and it's that's why we watch because it takes down some of the best golfers in the world. But Rory pulls it off.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch the golf this weekend because it was exciting from beginning to end. Now, Rory had it was the story all the way through, and he had a little bit of a fall off on
Third
Saturday, but
day,
then
yeah,
came back on Sunday, which just made it exciting. I mean, it looked like he was going to run away with it, and then on Saturday he came back to the pack, and some other players brought up like Cameron Young. Justin Rose is just so consistent on that course. He's the one person that I make sure is in my pool every single year when I do these pick 'em pools for that because he may not win it, but he's always going to
it was.
perform.
Yep.
I mean, he's him and Tiger Woods are probably the two who know that course better than anybody else. But yeah, it was great. And then take away all of the stuff. Scotty Scheffler
Yeah.
was like in like 20th place. He was near the cut line before on Friday. He was near the cut line and then just went on fire Saturday and Sunday
Can't count him
to
out.
to get into a tie for, I think he ended up with a tie for third, but to get into a tie for second when he went into the clubhouse with the idea that if Rory had dropped a shot or two, he could have
Yep.
had to go warm up. I think he actually finished second, but a tie for second. But anyways, I mean, just a great tournament. And then Rory made it even exciting on the 18th hole. So for those of you who are watching, he hit the slice of all slices, one that I would have been proud of.
All into the
And it
trees.
ended up in the neighboring fairway, which for all of us who play golf, that's not a good thing, but it's a
Hmm.
better thing than being in the trees. And so he played it up and got in back in the fairway and took a bogey on the very last hole. But when he hit that slice, had it been a little bit worse, not even a
Yeah.
lot, a little bit worse,
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler would have had to go warm up and get ready for extra holes. Yeah, great tournament.
Yeah.
Watching
It's a
it
lot of
after
fun.
having been there and understanding both the walks to get to the places where the
Sure.
patrons were, and knowing, I actually know the 18th. We sat there a lot. I know that 18th green as well as the people who were playing it at this point because I sat right next to it for a couple days and
That's tight.
watched I don't know how many golfers. Seeing that kind of stuff and knowing that this is how that's going
Yeah.
to break it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it was awesome. Shout out to you, B, too, because I definitely came in to the staff meeting last week with the Master shirt on, and people looked over like, "Yeah, Masters
I
week." And I
did
was like,
too.
"You dang right, you dang right." So good looking out. Yeah, that was awesome. Anybody's into golf, man, it's always a fun tournament to watch. So shout out to
Yeah.
Rory, does it again. Also, WNBA draft was last night too, so shout out to all the women who got drafted and picked up in the league. Um,
Particularly the UCLA women's basketball team, who for the first time in history had 6 drafted, 5 in the first round,
sir,
Damn.
and won the championship too, right?
and won the championship.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's why, yeah. But no team has ever had 6 drafted and 5 in the first.
Yeah. So
Damn.
yeah, was so shout out to the all the women that were drafted. Yeah, get your money. So yeah, so that's pretty much our show for today. Let's do our last few segments and then we'll get up out of here, starting with what is a bunch of hogwash. Am I missing something?
Yes. Your question from the crowd.
Oh, cool. All right, we'll do it. I'll skip it, but shout out to the boy Berg. My brother sent this in asking us like, hey, his question was how now that we know LeBron's gonna retire in the next few years. What do you think that means for Bronny's career? Like, kind of how long does he last? What does that kind of mean? Because part of it is obviously, you know, playing with his father. So, what do you think that happens to Bronny?
Yeah.
To
I'll go
be?
first. I
Yeah.
think he has a career where it actually lasts, a normal time for an NBA player. He's not going to be, he's not going to be in DeMar DeRozan, get play enough years that he's going to be in top 20 or anything like that. But he has now proven that he was the right pick at that
Yep.
spot in that draft. There's nobody who came behind him who's any better. There's nobody that's come behind him that's performing it as well as he is or shown the prospect that he has. And he's shooting 3-point. He is shooting his 3-point percentage as him in sniper category. He actually outshot his dad this year in the 3-pointers. So he's not going to be a superstar. He's never even going to be a starter, in my opinion. But he has enough talent and a name and Rich Paul that he will be able to hang on to rosters for, he'll be able to get the pension 6, 7, 8 maybe years in the league before him and his dad go on the senior tour to play golf or something.
That'd be fire.
Uh,
Cool.
when LeBron is out the league, I'll be shocked if Bronny plays more than 5 years. He's just not an NBA player. I'll be shocked.
5 years total or 5 years more?
5 years more. So when
Yeah,
LeBron finally
seven,
leaves, let's just
six,
say he
seven, eight
leaves this year.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he plays more than 5 years, like if I can't see him playing 10 years, I'm not saying it can't happen. I just can't see it. But if he plays
No,
5 years while LeBron is gone, more than five, I'll be shocked. I really would.
I just think it depends on him. Because he has all the,
yeah,
he's got
but
talent, he's got the training regimens, he's got the people, he's got, everything it would take. If he really wants to be, a solid player in the league, I think he could do it. It's just going to depend on what his motivation is, in my opinion.
but the average length of an NBA player's career is only 4.5 years. So I
Yeah.
think we all just said the over.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Wait, he's
he's
already
already,
played what, two?
yeah, he's already got,
Yeah,
this
he's
is, this,
played two, and his dad's not going to
Yeah.
retire this year.
yeah.
So he only needs to play. You were saying 5 more. That means that puts him at
Right.
7 or 8 years.
No,
That's
five
over
more
Solid.
4.5.
after LeBron. No,
Well,
five
that's what he's
more
saying.
after
Yeah.
LeBron
So
leaves.
if you get three
Right.
So
with,
LeBron
if you
still
get three
plays
with
next year. It
Braun,
doesn't really count.
exactly.
Yeah,
No,
It's,
3 + 5
plus
equals
five.
8,
Yeah,
which is more than
right,
4.5.
yeah.
right. So if he right, it's maybe. Well, yeah, yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay.
So he's going to play. He's going to
Yeah.
play longer than the average person plays in the NBA.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I agree to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, only
Work.
6% of players have a career that lasts 10 years or more.
Yeah.
He ain't
It's a
that.
good stat. It's a good stat.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, we'll see. So yeah, shout out, like you said, question from the crowd. I like that. Hopefully remember to use that. And if you got a question, like I said, send it to us on
Yeah,
the
send it our
pod.
way.
Send it to me if you, or one of us if you know us personally, and you might make the show. So yeah, so good reminder, B. So yeah, now hogwash. Brian said this one day on the show. We all laughed about it, and we made it a continual thing. So, what is hogwash in the world of sports right now for you, B?
It's not. I don't think anyone has ever heard me on this rant except for you, probably. But Sergio Garcia is a jerk. Has been a
Oh
jerk
man,
for as
yeah, that was
long
crazy.
and yeah, and long. He's just been not a great person to be to root for a very very long time for numerous reasons. Him and like Patrick Reed are the two most disliked golfers that I know of. But anyways, this guy gets on the number 2 tee box, has a pretty bad shot, and I think he's either the first group out or the second group out, and just starts bashing his driver, breaking the driver, taking a massive divot out of the starting tee box, so that both of the caddies had to stay back to try and fix the green
Yeah, what's wrong with this
for the
guy?
rest of the tournament. So Sergio Garcia had to carry, I think it was Kepka's bag up the
I think it was John Rahm.
fairway. John Rahm, that's right. It was John Rahm. John Rahm's bag up the fairway, which was just kind of fitting for the buffoonery that he displayed on that tee box.
Yeah, the live guys didn't do too well. Brooks, I think, played all right,
They
but the
never
rest
do.
they didn't
They
do too
never
good.
do.
Yeah, Champo was in there a few years ago. He was close, but I think he still lost. But yeah,
It was.
it wasn't too good.
And Rahm Rahm was good before he went in there. It was
Yeah.
Koepka who was in it when he first went in there too a couple times. But the 3-day shotgun thing doesn't work for 4 days in the toughest conditions.
In the toughest conditions, yeah, definitely. Cool. What you got?
Gino Auriemma, the way he acted versus
Yeah.
Dawn Staley when they lost that championship game, man. I mean, UConn just couldn't make shots. Plain and simple. They lost 62-48. South Carolina was definitely the better team, and one of the main reasons why it's hogwash. Not only was he lying about what happened, but I think that kind of ruined the moment for South Carolina and Dawn Staley, and I think it affected the whole team the next game. Not saying UCLA, wouldn't have won, if it didn't happen, but I just think it kind of affected them mentally and psychologically in that next
Fair.
game. And UCLA ended up, beating them for the national championship. I just think it just takes away from the moment that should have been all about South Carolina. He kind of made it all about him.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really have one. I don't think I'll come back. I've been trying to remember to take notes, but I got lost in the sauce on this one. So, and then Coop, you had a game ball. You said game ball for excellence in sports. Just someone you wanted to give a shout out to. Who you got this week?
Yeah, despite my feelings about him being really a fourth round prospect, not a number one overall pick, I'm giving it to Fernando Mendoza. And the reason why is he did something very smart that I think maybe other quarterbacks are going to follow. He ran his own pro day. Now, having a pro day is not nothing unusual. A lot of quarterbacks coming out of college, going to the pros, have a pro day, but it's usually ran by a coach who is familiar with the quarterback, and the coach kind of tells them what plays to run and what to do with some random wide receivers. Well, what Fernando Mendoza was, he called all the plays and he used his guys that he won the national championship with on his team. So he didn't have to get used to some random receivers. He just threw the same passes and did the same routes and did the same things he'd been doing all season with these guys. So maybe it probably helped them as well. But I think that was very smart of him to use people he was familiar with and plays that he's familiar running to solidify himself as a number one overall pick in the draft, which he was going to be because he's had the Raiders playbook for the last 2 months. But I just think that was a genius move by him that probably is going to get copied by the quarterback. So he gets my game ball for that.
Nice. Nice. You reminded me, man. I was going to go a different route, but I'm going to switch it up and give mine to Raiders front office right now. It's nice just to look like there's a plan and moves made along with the plan. I really am excited at just again, competent moves is awesome. Whether it works or not, you follow the process, hope it works, but at least I can see what they're trying to do and understand it, and I'm thankful for it. So I was gonna go there, but yeah, I had a different route next time. I'll use that for next time. I got it saved up. Brian knows he was the one that recommended I get these things I'm going to talk about on the next show and how they've affected my game on the course. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's where we're at there. That's our last segment, minute to win it. Just as
But
always, man.
Did Brian give a game ball?
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm tripping, bro.
You actually stole my theme. I was going to say the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, just they're playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers, and everyone wants to talk
Every
about how
year.
they have so much money. They're actually pulling off trades and finding talent. They've made now like every time they make a trade with Boston, they come back with a superstar player, and that is not about them being able to just spend a whole bunch of money. This is about them having such a great scouting department and farm league that one, they have the prospects to make trades, and two, they find the talent wherever's over there. Because the player that they got, a bat out of Boston, was playing horrible. Actually, it was a pitcher out of Boston. It was Tucker. Was playing horrible. He comes here, and all of a sudden, he's lights out. So they're playing at a different level, and everyone wants to hate them because they spend so much money, which they do. Which, as a fan, I like until you have to buy tickets. But they really, really, really know how to find talent in the area of baseball.
Definitely. Yeah, my bad, B. I didn't mean to step on it. I'm getting caught up. Cool. All right, it's good reminder, Coop. Yep. So that's our show. Last segment, minute to win it. As always, just thanks everybody for listening. Take care of yourselves. And take care of your families. Coop.
Jason?
Coop.
Oh, what happened?
Minute to win it.
Oh, minute to win it. Oh, I'm tripping.
Yeah, bro.
I'll save mine for the next week's podcast where we talk about the draft. I'll save that. Brian, you go ahead and take it on.
Got it. B.
The world's in a state of disarray. This will be quick. If you haven't started noticing what's happening in all these elections, it's all good news for Democrats and all bad news for Republicans. But we also, have a president who is currently taking on the Pope. And that's because if you haven't noticed recently, the Pope has kind of made some statements that seem more political than most popes have made in the past. Also, the Pope is eligible to run for president because he is from the city, from Chicago. And so there are those, including the president, our current president, who are apparently worried about this and have started taking shots, including putting a picture out, a real picture of him as Jesus Christ, which is the most ridiculous
He
thing
was a
that you could
doctor.
possibly imagine. But it is Trump as Jesus Christ with a golden light halo, putting his hand on someone to heal the sick, with all these people looking in reverence, as a shot at the Pope. You can't. If anyone wrote this story, it would make Idiocracy look like the most intelligent movie ever. It is dumb beyond on comprehension. So, enjoy the show, folks. Yeah, hopefully things stay entertaining and not depressing.
And fake news. He was a Red Cross doctor. Jeez.
Red
Y'all
Cross
come that.
Doctor.
Thanks everybody for listening. That's Sports Counterpoints. Today is April 14th, 2026, and we'll see y'all next time. Thanks. Peace.